Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Wild Eagle rendition. This is the Wild Eagle. It was designed and made by Shaney over at Shade, Indonesia. Now, I will have to find out what the steel on it is. I really will. It was made in 2024. I do believe these are micarta handle scales. It is a sub hilt with a nice little choil. Now, it had an interesting journey to me. Shaney made this for a customer. The blade chipped in a couple places. Not sure what happened there. Shaney sent him another one, had him send this one to me. I sent it to Joe over at the Steel Mindset. Check out Joe at Steel Mindset. I was slammed. Joe took care of the couple of little chips in it, got it sharp, did a video. Check out Joe's work with it. And he did a great job. So here's what I decided to do. I decided to do this a couple of different ways. We're going to do it our normal style, but we added a couple of different things to put a little pressure on the edge to see if it's a one-off, to see what happened, right? It's balanced really, really well. I took it over to Kirk's. Here's the thing. A sub hilt, I believe sub hilts were a big craze in the 80s. There was the sub hilt fighting knife. Some people like them, some people don't. The unique thing, or one of the things that I like about Shaney's take on it, one, I'm a recurve fanatic. I've always liked recurves, right? The thing that I like about Shaney's version is it's got a recurve. It's got a forward cant. The handle, when you look at it from the side, is shaped almost like a pistol. Like the sub hilt would almost be a trigger guard, if you could think of that. Where that comes into play is this. The pommel you could use for extra pushing. I showed you that up front, kind of messing around, but it's true. If I wanted to get that extra drive in it, I would simply place the pommel right under my thumb and my hand, put my finger in the sub hilt spot and shove forward, almost like the Voyager from Cold Steel, if that helps give you a visual. Now, there's a couple things with this knife. When you do a sub hilt anything, and you do this style of knife, a recurve, and this really is more of a weapon, it's more of a fighting knife, they're difficult to test. You can see it stabs insanely well. It's got a really huge clip point to it. So, I mean, there's a lot of facets here, a lot of things going on. Bushcrafting. That's how we're going to test it. That makes the most sense, right? It's the best way for me to show you a couple things. I'm not a knife fighter. Y'all know that. Last time I stabbed somebody, I almost went to jail, so we can't do that anymore. But for me, I wanted to see if I could use it. I wanted to take this knife. This is the only knife I have, and we can throw the zombie apocalypse. We can throw alien. We can do whatever scenario you want to do. Every video I do, guys, is based on this. This is the only knife I have on me. This is what I have to work with. That's why you don't hear me do comparisons. It's why you don't hear me say, this compared to this. In my reviews, I am focusing on this knife as if it was the only one in the world. And I'm going to be honest with you. This thing would work. This thing would work. Kirk told me I should take it with me to Rewild or to Blackie's gathering and tell them it's the new modern bush knife. Watch here, old Scab's gonna kill it right there. Look at that. It's knife fighting savant, son. Here's the thing. We did a lot of batoning. I went heavier on the batoning. Now, do I baton in real life? No. Let me check that. I do. Real life batoning is how you're supposed to do it. Smaller diameter stuff. And the only reason that I do it here in Florida is this. In Northeast Florida, I don't need an axe. I can take a machete and a knife, and a pocket knife, and I'm fine, right? The thing with Northeast Florida is this. Everything stays so damn wet. Humidity is through the roof 12 months out of the year. So for me, batoning would be taking smaller diameter limbs, batoning them down to get through the wet to get to the dry, okay? That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is a little more bashing and crashing and trying to put pressure on the edge, right? See if it was a one-off. Sometimes, guys, you can get a little bit of a burnt edge, and it might chip. Sometimes you can hit the wrong shit and just not want to say anything about it. Sometimes you might hit it at the right angle. There's a lot of factors. One of the things that I respect the most about Shaney is he doesn't run from it. He doesn't cut off communication. He doesn't hide. He doesn't point fingers. He makes it right. And I worry sometimes that he gets taken advantage of. And I'm not saying in this situation. He's that kind of dude. He wants his work to be done and done right. And I respect that. And one of the reasons, somebody asked me when I first showed this knife, they said, well, I don't understand how you got involved. Shaney asked me to. There, right guy? That's how. I don't insert myself. I know it's hard for some people to understand, but I am kind of a big deal, whether you like it or not. I just wanted to cover that. And I hope that makes your day. It made mine. Here's the thing. Shaney asked me to have it repaired, do the review, put it on the circuit, and do that. I don't mind doing that. I told y'all I want to use the platform to help makers. I love Shaney's work to death. He is a great guy. He has been forever good to me. Now, and I was being smart about being a big deal. I mean, y'all know that I am, but I like to act like I'm humble. In the description, I'm going to put a link to Shaney's website. I get asked, seriously, anytime I do one of these, somebody's like, how do we find him? How do we find him? Shaney went ahead and started a website. I'll put it in the description. And remember, guys, I mentioned this yesterday on the Vanguard tracker that Shaney made. Shaney is a custom maker. So if you don't see a knife I show on his website, ask him about it, guys. It may take some time, but tell me a custom maker that's going to have everything in stock. They don't. The other side is this. Shaney makes some wild stuff. Now, you see that recurve there. You see the clip point. It's just a gorgeous knife. And again, shout out to Joe. He did a phenomenal job. Now, look at the grip there. You see what I'm talking about? It reminds me a little bit of the Spartan from Cold Steel as well. This is one of the things I wanted to do. That's a very, very well seasoned piece of oak. I'm not showing the chopping. I'm hitting it flat. We're doing some angles, but basically I'm coming back. I'm hitting it flat, putting pressure on the edge. Edge held up very well. What I was going to say is, too, Shaney makes a great knife, and if you want him to make you a knife, all you have to do is get with him on the design. At some point, I'm going to work with him on a belt knife. And people ask me, they say, man, he makes a great knife. Does he do anything normal? Listen, check out WC Review. Check out Will's channel, WC Review. I sent him the Amazon from Shade Indonesia. It is a beast of a knife, but it's a belt knife that's razor sharp. And he's already hit me up telling me how much he loved it, and I thought that he might. Check out WC Review. It's the Amazon. Check out Missouri Survival. I think Missouri Survival did one on the Amazon. And again, let's take a look at the blade. I'm going to shut up and let y'all look.
No, this was a private.
There's a lot going on with this knife. That's another part of Shaney's. That's why I mentioned, if you want a look at a normal knife, look at the Amazon. I've also got his Mac V Bowie. His Mac V Bowie, beautiful, gorgeous knife. I'll do a short on it tonight so you can see it. But it's made from that Vietnam era. It's his ode to that Vietnam era Bowie knife. And I'll say this again. The zip ties are not showing how sharp the knife is. A butter knife can prise zip ties off. It is to put pressure on the edge. Real quick before we run out of time, let's do some overall specs. I meant to do that earlier. Got the chatting. I know that shocks you. Overall length from tip to pommel is 15 7/8. We have a blade length of 10 inches with a cutting edge of about 9.5. Now you've got a lot of roundabouts there. The blade width is 2¼ inches. Somebody's calling me. I hate that shit. It's probably some kind of... So 2¼ inches on the blade width. We have a 1/4 inch blade stock. And again, I'll have to get the steel from Shaney. Now the inner grip here is hard to tell. It's 4 inches from the top of the bottom choil. It's got 2 choils, and it's very, very unique design. From the top choil, you got like 5 1/4. So there's a lot of room there. It's got a wicked pommel. I will say this for Shaney. Shaney trains with weapons, makes weapons. You're always going to see some kind of facet, a weapon facet in his stuff. It has some aggressive jimping. It also has a lanyard hole at the top. That is for quick pop, chop type cuts. Above the jimping, there are 2, and we're going to call them cutouts, that if you wanted to plane or you just needed to push that edge along, you can, and they are chamfered very well. It's really, really well done. We're going to start a fire here. The jimping is aggressive enough that it just lit that ferro rod right up. It's got 2 beautiful full. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece, and you guys will be seeing much, much more of it. I might send it out to another couple guys to review. I'll have to look at that. I've got so much out right now. Listen, guys, check out Shade Indonesia in the description. There was a time in this country, guys, where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, we're coming off the weekend where it's higher. Stats are everywhere. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. Guys, I mention this a lot. I back the blue. I know it's not the time to with the media and all that. They're not all bad. They're not all good. I have my reasons. I don't ask you to do it. Something I believe in. Finally, if you're an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, I'm Scab. You're not. And we got